welcome back to the channel. My name is Hope and this is Mission Keto, and today's video is a recipe video. No casserole today. We're veering away from the casserole, but I am going into a cookbook. I'm starting to kind of look through cookbooks and maybe make some things that I've always wanted to try and I haven't done it yet, or find something that I've tried before and I loved and I just haven't made it in a while, and definitely share it with you guys. So I have never made anything out of this cookbook yet. This is The Ultimate Guide to Keto Baking, and it's from Carolyn Ketchum. She wrote this, and it's been around for a little while. I got it on Amazon. I will have it linked down below if you're interested in looking at it. But we are going to make a New York crumb cake. This is what it looks like. Oh my goodness. So the description on it says, a sweet and tender coffee cake in the style of New York crumb cake. I've never heard of a New York crumb cake, but I was thinking of like a coffee cake it reminds me of. It is perfectly paired with a cup of coffee. And we've got all of the stats in the bottom of this, and every recipe, it tells you the nutritional information. 5.7 carbs a serving, which I like that. Protein is 4.9, not much, protein out of that. Calories, 237, and fat is 21.7, so that's a pretty good thing too. So we're gonna make this today. I'm pretty excited about it. And what I found out as I'm looking through this, I had pretty much everything in my pantry already. If you're already doing keto, there's a good chance that you've got all of this stuff already in your pantry. The only thing that I had to get was some heavy whipping cream. I use half and half in my coffee now. Technically, I probably could use the half and half, but every once in a while I do like to splurge. Heavy whipping cream is delicious. Who are we going to kid, right? So the first thing that we're gonna do is make the crumb topping. Now, with every recipe that comes out of a cookbook, I don't share everything with you guys. I don't share the recipe because it's not my recipe to share. They have taken all the time to, put these recipes together, get a cookbook out of it. They wanna make some money. The best that I can do is just show you how delicious it is, and maybe you'll be interested in buying it. I'll have it linked, like I said, down below. Amazon storefront. And if you haven't checked out our storefront, make sure you check it out, because every time I buy something on Amazon, I try to put it in there in different categories. You'll see we have different categories on there. Just peruse through it. Sometimes I forget to put stuff in there, but I do have this listed. I have a whole cookbook section, book and cookbook section. There's a kitchen section. I even still have our RB stuff still listed, everything that we had for the RB, so that's pretty funny. So to make the crumb topping, it's pretty simple. You need some almond flour, coconut flour, brown sugar substitute, erythritol sweetener. Honestly, I didn't have that, so I'm just gonna use the sweetener that I have. I think that'll be just fine. Cinnamon, salt, and some butter. And then for the cake, you really just need almost the same things, but we're gonna add baking powder, an egg yolk, vanilla extract, heavy whipping cream, and some water. That's it. All of those things you probably already have, which I think is pretty exciting. So I will bring you down to the counter or pull it down and show you how we're gonna make the crumb topping, and then we're gonna set that off to the side. First thing I need to do is melt some butter. As you know, we do not have a microwave. We chose not to get another appliance for our countertop, so we've been making do, and it's been 10 months now, and we're doing fine without a microwave. The only thing I miss, which is so silly, is just warming up my coffee, because I never drink it fast enough. So we figured it out. I haven't gotten it yet, but we need to buy, maybe for Christmas I'll ask for it. It was one of those portable little warming things, and you can just plug it in and warm your coffee up. That's what I need to do. Okay, so now we're gonna make the crumb topping, and it's pretty simple, and we just put it off to the side. So we need some almond flour. Like I said, I'm not gonna give you the exact measurements. I almost spilled the beans there. Some coconut flour. Okay. I tend to not use coconut flour as much, but it is still something that I always have, it seems like. Brown sugar substitute. I'm using, let me make sure I hit the record button. Okay, good. The golden Lakanto. You could use Swerve, whichever one you want. There's more and more coming out now. Okay, that one. And the erythritol. Same amount of both. So it's really funny about this. I always associated coffee cake with like older people, you know, like my grandparents would have that, or they'd have those Danishes and they'd have it with their coffee. And I just never understood it. I was like, what? Oh, what? I don't get it. Well, guess who gets it now? Like, there are times when I want a cup of coffee with something sweet, and I just find that hilarious. Now, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I think, you know, our grandparents had it right. They had a lot of things right. Eating dinner a little early, going to bed early, not being out in the world at night. They knew what they were doing, because those are all the things that we pretty much do now too. All right, so I've got everything in here that I need, except for the butter. So let me just do a quick stir of this. I liked that there was a lot of cinnamon. I like a lot of cinnamon. I feel like sometimes it is a strong spice, but sometimes we don't utilize that enough, my opinion. Okay. Pour our melted butter in. Got my spatula because I want to get everything out of there. Then we're just gonna mix it together until it's well combined. And it just says it's gonna be thick and crumbly. So that's exactly what we want. This is gonna be our crumb topping. It smells really good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so everything is mixed. You just want all the dry stuff to be touching, you know, the butter when it was in there, and it's all mixed together. It is thick and it is crumbly. So we're gonna put this off to the side. Let me get my bigger bowl now. And we're going to mix together all the other ingredients. So, same deal. We need more almond flour. It's funny though, there is a lot of the same ingredients in the cake itself. How much? I should be getting my glasses soon. It usually takes about 2 weeks, and I think this week is the second week, so I can't wait. It seems like I need it more and more now that I know they're coming, so I hope I like them and I hope they do the job. They will. Okay. You see how perfect, I know with baking you have to be perfect with your measurements, and I don't know, I'm not usually, I just, whatever. I've got to put that in my container. And then the coconut flour, small amount of coconut flour. I need a tablespoon. I thought I grabbed them all, but I didn't. So let me know down below if you have this cookbook. Have you made this before? Because I'm interested. I hope it's delicious. I'm gonna get out a cup of coffee when this comes straight out of the oven. I can't wait to try it. All right, I need some sweetener. I gotta get my other bag. I'm finishing this one up. I'm so glad I bought extra the other grocery haul. I knew it. I said something's gonna come up and I'm gonna need it. Sure enough. All right, so how much was it again? My oven is preheated, so that's good. I don't think you need any of the brown sugar for this one. No, we don't. So the brown sugar replacement, that was just for the crumb topping. I'm just reading over it real quick. I do have to melt some more butter, so let's get the dry ingredients in here first, and then I'll melt the butter again separately. How much of this do I need? Okay. Baking powder. I always get them confused, but it's the right one. Another little bit of salt. And okay, everything else is wet ingredients. So we're gonna leave this here. Let me melt some more butter, and then we'll get the egg and all that in there too. Okay, so I have mixed everything up. Now we're gonna add everything else. We're gonna do the butter, and I need another spatula. All of my spatulas are dirty. My dishwasher is like full, but not full, you know what I mean? So it will be after this though. This will do the job. Okay, we got that. We need a whole egg. And then an egg yolk. I think this is a Pampered Chef thing, but it separates the egg from the yolk. I think it is brilliant. I love it. Don't use it a whole heck of a lot, but it's there. There we go, look at that. Okay, plop. And then we'll just save this for something. I'll just make it with eggs tomorrow or something. And then some vanilla. That's another thing I feel like we don't use enough of in our recipes. Oh my gosh, look at that. I had exactly what I needed. This is a teaspoon. Exactly what I needed in that jar, and that was all I had. Holy moly. I got lucky. And some heavy whipping cream. Where are you? Oh, right in front of my face. I don't have a garbage bowl. But I'm not technically meal prepping. That's one of my tips when I'm meal prepping, but. Okay, got that. And a 1/4 cup of water. Well, let me use this one. Just helps get all the heavy whipping cream in there. All right, so now that we've got everything in here, we're going to mix it. I gotta break up that yolk. There we go. It says mix it until it's thoroughly combined. Then we're gonna put the batter in the prepared pan. You're supposed to grease the pan. Kind of funny because there's so much dang butter in this thing. It ain't gonna stick. And then spread it smooth on top, and then we're gonna crumble the crumble on top. I think I've got everything on the side here, so we're good. Let me grab my pan. And I'm gonna live on the edge here. I don't have any spray or anything. We're just gonna dump it. Hopefully it doesn't stick. Like I said, there's a lot of butter in this thing, so we're just gonna hope and pray. Hope and pray. I need a spatula though, a real one. Here's our crumble topping. Spread this flat. Me getting all of it. Gotta use it all. Okay, so now it just says, crumble the topping mixture with your fingers into pea-sized pieces. Well, I don't know about all that, but we're just gonna sprinkle it on top. There's enough of it. There's plenty. Holy cow. It is almost like there's so much of this that it looks like even in the picture that half of it is crumb topping and half of it is cake. So I'm not mad about that though. Yeah, see, there's quite a bit. So yeah, you don't really have to worry about getting a pea size amount, you know, just it's crumbly. And then you can just kind of make sure it's in all of the all this empty spots. There we go. All right, so we are gonna put this in an oven for 35 to 40 minutes until the topping is golden and a toothpick comes out clean. So I gotta find my toothpicks. I think I do have some. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. I am talking you through this whole thing, but look how easy that was. Okay, it's out of the oven, but we're gonna do the toothpick test. Let's see. It's clean, it's ready. We almost had a panic attack. I thought I hit record button and I didn't, but I caught it. So as you saw, I just made some coffee for my New York crumb cake. and we're gonna do a taste. It looks delicious. It smells delicious. And you saw the toothpick test. It came out clean. It is ready to go. It is a very wet cake. I didn't want to say that word, the M word, but my daughter hates that. It's so funny. But it's very wet, but I don't know. It's good warm. It might be really delicious cold too after it sits out for a while, but we're gonna do a taste test and let's see. That is very delicious. I will tell you right now, the thing that makes it is the crumb topping. And there is a lot of crumb topping, as you can see. And you saw in the picture too, the crumb, it was like half and half, it seems like. I almost feel like there should be apples in it. It's very similar to like an apple pie feeling to me, but there is no apples. But it's really, really good. I wasn't sure. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how that was gonna turn out. Hey everyone, it is Future Editing Hope. I keep doing this the last couple of videos, but I'm finishing a What I Eat in a Day video right now, and I wanted to update you, give you a better review on that New York crumb cake that I made in the recipe video. Well, it's this video. I'm cutting into it to tell you a couple of other things. So I told you that it reminded me of apple pie. No lie, Andy had a taste of it. He had a couple bites and he was like, this tastes like apple pie. And my mouth dropped. So if that's something that you love, apple pie, clearly 2 people thought that it tasted like apple pie. The other thing I'll say is it is delicious, but it does have that almond flour taste. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I did yesterday. So maybe not now. I haven't tasted it cold the next day, but I'm going to probably...
Definitely an option for Thanksgiving, because I love apple pie.
Oh, yeah. I haven't
had it in forever.
And there is some, I told you, there is some kind of a vegetable or something that you can put in that people are using for apples, and we might be able to do something like that. But I just wanted to jump in, cut the rest of that other video out, and give you a little bit more detail on it. But I thought that was hysterical when Andy thought it tasted like apple pie too, and that is exactly what I thought. So we're on to something. We're on to something there. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. It is delicious. I love it. I've got that now for the week. If I'm feeling like something with my coffee in the morning, probably not, but I might. I've got my coffee. I'll always drink coffee. Again, there is the cookbook that I made that from, and I will have that linked in my Amazon storefront down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you like and comment. Tell me if you like it. It just gets it out there to those other people that are looking for something like recipes on keto and easy things to make. Again, you probably have most of these items already in your pantry, so why not try to make it? You just need the cookbook, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.